Tom Hanks was visiting a friend at the hospital. He walked into the wrong room by accident, and what he saw inside made him freeze. A nurse was standing over an elderly woman, slapping her. The old woman was crying, too weak to fight back, too scared to scream. Tom didn't call for help. He didn't go find a doctor. He walked into that room and did something that ended that nurse's career in 30 seconds. You need to watch until the end, because what Tom discovered about this nurse will make your blood boil. Subscribe right now. This is one of the darkest Tom Hanks stories I've ever told. March 22, 2014. Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, Los Angeles, 2:30 p.m. Tom Hanks was visiting a friend, a director he'd worked with years ago. The man was recovering from heart surgery. Room 412. Tom walked down the hallway looking for the room number. 408, 410. 412 should be next. He pushed open the door. Wrong room. This was 411. And what was happening inside stopped him cold. An elderly woman was lying in the hospital bed. She was tiny, fragile. Couldn't have weighed more than 90 pounds. White hair spread across the pillow. Tubes running everywhere, eyes wide with fear. A nurse was standing over her. The nurse had her hand raised, and as Tom watched, she brought it down across the old woman's face. Slap. I told you to stop hitting the call button. I'm busy. Do you understand? The old woman whimpered, tears running down her wrinkled cheeks. I'm sorry. I just wanted water, please. You'll get water when I say you get water. The nurse raised her hand again. Don't. The nurse spun around. Tom was standing in the doorway. His face was calm, his voice was quiet, but there was something in his eyes that made the nurse take a step back. Mr. Hanks, what are you doing here? I walked into the wrong room. Lucky me. This isn't what it looks like. The patient is confused. She's been difficult all day. You were just hitting a 90-year-old woman because she asked for water. She's senile. She doesn't know what she's saying. She won't even remember this. I'll remember it. Tom stepped into the room. The nurse backed up against the wall. What's your name? I don't have to tell you. Tom pointed at her name tag. Patricia Holden. Got it. He pulled out his phone, started recording. What are you doing? Documenting. Keep talking. Tell me more about how this patient is difficult. Tell me more about why she deserved to be hit. Turn that off. You can't record me. This is a hospital. There are privacy laws. Those laws protect patients, not nurses who beat them. Tom walked to the bedside. The old woman was still crying, shaking. She looked up at him with eyes that had seen too much. What's your name, ma'am? Eleanor. Eleanor Santos. Eleanor? Has this nurse hit you before? Patricia jumped in. She's confused. She has dementia. You can't believe anything I didn't ask you. Tom's voice cut like a blade. He turned back to Eleanor. Has she hit you before? Eleanor nodded slowly, tears streaming. Many times, every day, when I ask for water, when I need the bathroom, when I cry because I miss my husband. Her voice cracked. She tells me no one is coming for me. She tells me my family forgot about me. She tells me I should just die already. Tom felt something dark rising in his chest, a rage he hadn't felt in years. He turned to Patricia. You told a dying woman that her family forgot about her? She's confused. She makes things up. This is a dementia patient. They lie all the time. Get out. Excuse me? Get out of this room, right now, before I do something we'll both regret. Patricia's face twisted. You can't tell me what to do. I work here. You're just a visitor. I'm going to call security. Good. Call them. Let's all watch this video together. Patricia went pale. You're going to delete that. No, I'm going to show it to your supervisor. Then I'm going to show it to the hospital administrator. Then I'm going to show it to every news outlet in Los Angeles. And then I'm going to show it to the police. It's my word against hers. She has dementia. No one will believe her. They'll believe the video. Now get out. Patricia left, slamming the door behind her. Tom sat down next to Eleanor's bed. He took her hand gently. Her skin was paper thin, cold. Eleanor, I'm going to get you help. Real help. No one is going to hurt you again. Promise. I promise. Tom called the nursing station, asked for the supervisor. Then he called the hospital administrator. Then he called his lawyer. Within an hour, Patricia Holden was suspended pending investigation. But here's where the twist comes in. Tom's team started digging, and what they found was horrifying. Patricia Holden had been reported before, 15 times over 8 years. 15 different patients or family members had complained about abuse. Slapping, pinching, verbal abuse, neglect, withholding medication, leaving patients in soiled beds for hours. Every single time the complaints had been dismissed. Patient confusion, family misunderstanding, insufficient evidence, staff shortage, nurse was under stress. 15 times the hospital had protected an abusive nurse because firing her would mean admitting they'd made a mistake, because firing her would open them up to lawsuits, because covering it up was easier than dealing with it. 15 victims, 8 years, and Patricia was still working there, still hitting patients, still telling dementia patients that their families had forgotten them. The system wasn't broken. It was working exactly as designed. Designed to protect the institution. Designed to silence victims. Designed to hide monsters like Patricia Holden. Tom decided to break the system. He hired investigators. Private ones. The kind who didn't give up. They interviewed every patient Patricia had ever treated who was still alive. They talked to families. They dug through records. They found nurses who had seen things and been too scared to report them. They found 23 confirmed cases of abuse, 23 elderly patients who had been beaten, humiliated, and terrorized by the person who was supposed to care for them. 4 of those patients had died. The investigators couldn't prove Patricia killed them, but they couldn't prove she didn't either. The story went national. News crews camped outside the hospital. Reporters interviewed families who had complained years ago and been ignored. Their stories were heartbreaking. Fathers who died with bruises no one could explain. Mothers who had tried to tell their children something was wrong but couldn't find the words because of their dementia. Senators demanded investigations. The state health department launched an audit. The hospital was put on probation. The hospital CEO resigned, called it personal reasons. Everyone knew the real reason. 3 supervisors were fired, the ones who had dismissed the complaints, the ones who had signed off on keeping Patricia employed. New policies were implemented. Cameras in patient rooms, random checks by independent monitors, 0 tolerance for abuse, mandatory reporting with whistleblower protections. The hospital became a case study. How not to handle abuse complaints. How institutions protect themselves instead of their patients. Every nursing school in California added it to their curriculum. Patricia Holden was charged with elder abuse. 12 counts. She tried to fight it at first, hired expensive lawyers, claimed the patients were confused, claimed Tom Hanks was biased against her. Then the video surfaced, the one Tom had recorded. Clear as day, a nurse hitting a 90-year-old woman for asking for water. She pled guilty to avoid trial. 5 years in prison. She lost her nursing license permanently. She'll never work in healthcare again. But here's the part that mattered most to Tom. Eleanor Santos. Her family hadn't forgotten her. Her daughter had been visiting every week, but Patricia had been telling Eleanor they never came, confusing her, isolating her, making her believe she was alone. Tom called Eleanor's daughter personally, told her what had happened, what her mother had been through. The daughter broke down on the phone. "I didn't know. She seemed so out of it when I visited. I thought it was the dementia. I didn't know someone was hurting her. It wasn't your fault. You couldn't have known. But now you know, and you can be there for her now." Tom paid for Eleanor to be moved to a different facility, a better one, with cameras, oversight, and staff who actually cared. Eleanor lived another 3 years. Her last years were peaceful. Her daughter visited twice a week. She died knowing she was loved. At her funeral, her daughter read a letter. It was from Tom Hanks. "Eleanor, I walked into the wrong room, but I think it was the right room after all, because you needed someone to see what was happening. You needed someone to believe you. I believed you. And I hope your last years were everything your first ones should have been. Peaceful, safe, loved. Rest easy, Eleanor. No one is hurting you anymore. Your friend, Tom." Eleanor's daughter keeps that letter framed on her wall, and every time she sees a story about elder abuse, she thinks about her mother, about the nurse who hurt her, about the movie star who walked into the wrong room at exactly the right time. Because of Tom, 23 families got answers about what happened to their parents. Because of Tom, a hospital changed its entire system. Because of Tom, countless elderly patients in that hospital will never experience what Eleanor experienced. All because he walked into room 411 instead of 412. All because he didn't look away. All because he believed an old woman with dementia when no one else would. That's the story. A wrong room, a right decision, a career ended, a system changed. That's Tom Hanks.